ahead.
So Ken makes a romantic meal for Tricia's birthday. Mm-hmm. He gifts her a bracelet. He talks about how he's bad at gifts and how that was probably a issue in his previous relationship. Mm-hmm. So he gives her this bracelet. Ken is really active in Tricia's kids' lives, takes them out and spends time with them. She fills him in on her interaction with Tisha. She thinks Tisha's pretty cool.
Okay.
She tells Ken how Martell acted like he didn't know her when she was over at Stormi's house. Mm-hmm. And Ken says that, he made it seem like she was one of his old creeps by the way she's describing it. Ken tells her that she needs to ask him what's up at some point and get to the bottom of it. He's talking about how he was looking at rings, but he can't make the purchase until she gets her divorce situation figured out. Tricia says that she and her ex-husband haven't really talked about it. Ken is concerned that she may not want to get out of the marriage since she's not going about it quickly. Tricia says it's scary whenever she and Ken actually talk about marriage.
So Tricia, baby, what are we gonna talk about then? Mm-hmm. Like, what are we gonna talk about? You don't want to talk to your ex-husband because every time y'all talk, y'all argue, right? That's why there's lawyers involved to where the lawyers can mediate the whole thing, And then Ken's over here saying like, I was looking at rings, but what's the point of doing that? Because you're still married. And now she's like, like talking about marriage kind of like scares me. So what do you want out of this relationship, Tricia?
Yeah, Tricia, she comes across very avoidant to me, and it's very off-putting. I'm even to the point where Ken is telling her, you need to figure out why Martell was acting like that. And even to that, it seemed like she didn't want to do that. Like, why don't you want to know why he's acting weird unless you already know? And then going on to Ken is saying, I mean, if I want to be out of a marriage, I would go ahead and get up out the marriage. Mm-hmm. And she's just like, I don't really talk about it with my ex, and then talking about marriage with you, I don't really want to talk about that. So it's just kind of like, so what are we doing, Tricia? Like, what direction are we going in? And it's just like, I don't know if she doesn't know or if she knows and she's just happy with where she's at. So it's all very confusing. And honestly, I'm losing interest. Okay. So,
was this the last scene of the night?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say, don't invest in this storyline. Don't invest in the Ken storyline. Because Ken don't even know what's going on in his storyline. Don't invest in the Tisha working out at the gym storyline. Don't invest in the Melody talking to her friends. That's not part of the show storyline. Don't invest in the Stormi storyline of this body butter that she's trying to sell. It just seemed like a show that people are just trying to sell stuff now. It's not even a show about friends coming together. Don't invest in the Tricia trying to get divorced. Invest in Sunny, right? Because that's the only storyline that makes sense out of every storyline that's going on. Right, out of every storyline, we don't know what Marsau and Maurice what they doing on that side of Huntsville. Mm-hmm. We will see them next week and things like that. But we need to see more of the main cast. And I'm not even saying together. Just we need. This is the y'all are the faces on the poster, not Tricia and Ken. We saw too much Stormi and too much Tricia and things like that. And the more she's on the screen, the more I'm like she shouldn't be on the screen. What was your